Hey, Cowboys Nation. Welcome to your ultimate destination for all things Dallas Cowboys. From the latest news, game analyses, rumors, to deep dives into player performances and strategies, we've got you covered. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a play. Let's dive into everything you need to know about America's team. There's a storm brewing in the NFL world, and at the center of it all is a name that's become synonymous with pure, unfiltered power: Derrick Henry. Rumors are swirling faster than a Texas twister that the Dallas Cowboys might be preparing to make one of the boldest moves of the offseason, bringing King Henry to the star. Now, I'm not saying it's official, not yet at least, but when whispers start coming out of both Tennessee and Dallas circles, you can't just ignore them. The Cowboys, after all, have been searching for that identity on the ground ever since Ezekiel Elliott's departure left a power vacuum in the backfield. Tony Pollard gave them explosiveness, sure, but the bruising, clock-controlling force? That's been missing. And if there's one man built for that kind of job, it's Derrick freaking Henry. Just imagine him in that silver and blue, lowering his shoulder behind that massive offensive line, setting up Dak Prescott for play-action bombs. The fit feels almost too perfect, doesn't it? But as we all know in the NFL, where there's smoke, there's usually at least a little fire, and this one might be starting to blaze. Now, let's be real. This wouldn't just be another trade. This would be a statement. A declaration from Jerry Jones himself that the Cowboys are tired of just being good. They want to be dominant again. And bringing in Derrick Henry would send a shockwave through the entire NFC. Think about it. The Cowboys' offense has already been efficient, with CeeDee Lamb emerging as a top-5 receiver and Dak playing some of the best football of his career when the pressure's balanced. But give him a weapon like Henry, someone defenses must stack the box against, and suddenly the passing game opens up like never before. Defenses would have to pick their poison, get run over by the train that is Henry, or risk getting burned deep by Lamb, Brandon Cooks, or even Jake Ferguson over the middle. This kind of move doesn't just change a playbook. It changes a culture. It brings intimidation back to Dallas, something fans have been craving since the glory days of Emmitt Smith. Of course, there are skeptics. There always are. The talk around the league is that Henry's age and workload could be concerns. He's been a bell cow for years in Tennessee, carrying the ball more times than almost anyone else in football. The question is, how much gas is left in the tank? But let's not forget, this man is built differently. We're talking about a 6 feet 3 inches, 247-pound monster who still runs like a track star and trains like a machine. He's not showing signs of slowing down in any way that matters. If anything, a change of scenery, a new offensive scheme, and less of the burden on his shoulders might be exactly what he needs to keep dominating. And for Dallas, even 2 elite seasons from Henry could make the difference between another playoff disappointment and a legitimate Super Bowl run. This isn't about the future. This is about seizing the moment, and Jerry Jones is never shy about doing just that. Behind closed doors, the whispers grow louder. There are reports that Henry has always admired the Cowboys' legacy, the star, the history, the massive platform that comes with being America's team. He knows what it would mean to put that jersey on, to carry the ball where legends once did. And for the Cowboys, it's about more than numbers or stats. It's about sending a message to the league that they're all in. They've been stuck in that middle ground for too long, good enough to make the playoffs, but never quite good enough to break through. Bringing in Derrick Henry isn't just about improving the roster. It's about shifting the narrative. It's about reminding everyone that the Cowboys don't settle for mediocrity. If there's a player who embodies dominance, pride, and old-school grit, it's Henry. And when you mix that kind of mindset with the Cowboys brand, it's almost like destiny calling. But hold up, because the money side of this deal might be the trickiest part of all. Henry's contract, while not insane by running back standards, still carries weight, and Dallas has some cap gymnastics to perform if they want to make this happen. Dak's extension talks are looming. Micah Parsons will soon need to be paid like the superstar he is, and CeeDee Lamb isn't going to come cheap either. So, how do they make it work? That's where Jerry Jones' magic comes in. The man's been doing cap wizardry for decades, and if there's a deal to be made, he'll find a way. Maybe it involves restructuring, maybe it means letting go of a few veterans, But if Jones sees Henry as the missing piece to a championship puzzle, he'll move mountains to get it done. And honestly, can you imagine the jersey sales, the hype, the sheer spectacle of that press conference? Henry standing next to Jerry, holding up that Cowboys jersey. It would break the internet. Fans are already buzzing like crazy. Social media is on fire with mock edits of Henry in Cowboys blue. Clips of him stiff-arming defenders with captions like soon. Cowboys Nation is dreaming big again, and you can't really blame them. This team has the defense, the passing game, the talent. What they need is an identity that scares people. Derrick Henry brings that in spades. Whether it's third and short, red zone dominance, or setting the tone early in a game, Henry changes everything. And let's not forget what kind of leader he is. Quiet, respected, and relentless. Exactly the kind of presence that could elevate the locker room. If this deal does happen, it won't just reshape the Cowboys. It might reshape the NFC entirely. Because when King Henry rides into Dallas, every defense in the league is on notice. Now, let's talk about what this could mean on the field, because that's where things get really spicy. Picture this. Dak under center, Henry in the backfield, motion from CD Lamb, play action fake. The defense bites and boom, a 40-yard strike down the sideline. That's the kind of balance the Cowboys have been missing. Henry's mere presence forces defensive coordinators to abandon their comfort zones. No more light boxes, no more disguised blitzes. He commands respect. Even when he's not getting the ball, he changes how the defense plays. And that's where Dallas could really take off. Offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer loves smash-mouth football, and pairing that philosophy with Henry's skill set would be a dream scenario. Pound the ball early, where defense is down, and let Dak and Lamb feast once the safeties start creeping forward. It's a chess match, and Henry gives Dallas the ultimate power piece. Some insiders claim that the Cowboys' locker room is already buzzing with the idea. Players have reportedly been joking about it during practices, calling it the next dynasty move. Micah Parsons even dropped a cryptic tweet recently, something about new energy coming soon, and fans went wild. Now, could be coincidence? Maybe. But knowing how players sometimes hint at things before they break, it wouldn't be shocking if this was part of the build-up. What's fascinating, though, is how much respect Henry commands around the league. Even opponents praise his work ethic and humility. If he were to walk into that Dallas locker room, he'd instantly earn everyone's respect. The Cowboys haven't always had that veteran presence who can steady the team during rough patches. Henry could be that guy. Not just a star, but a stabilizer. And that's worth as much as any yard he gains on the field. And speaking of yards, let's not overlook what kind of numbers Henry could post in this offense. Dallas's offensive line, while not as dominant as it once was, is still among the better units in football. Add in Henry's north-south style and the Cowboys' zone-blocking schemes, and you've got a match made in football heaven. In Tennessee, defenses keyed on him because they didn't fear the passing game. In Dallas, it will be a different story. Teams wouldn't be able to stack the box every play, not with Dak's arm and Lamb's speed threatening over the top. That balance could open lanes Henry hasn't seen in years. We could be looking at another 1,500-yard season, maybe even a shot at the rushing title, if everything clicks. And knowing how motivated he is, how much pride he takes in proving people wrong, that possibility seems very real. Then there's the emotional angle, and don't underestimate that. Henry has always been a competitor who thrives on purpose. After years in Tennessee, carrying a franchise that never quite broke through, you can bet he's hungry for a ring. Dallas gives him that chance. The stage, the lights, the fan base, the legacy, it all aligns perfectly. Imagine him running out of the tunnel on Sunday Night Football, the crowd roaring, the stars shining under those AT&T Stadium lights. It feels like destiny waiting to be written. For a player of Henry's stature, ending his career with a championship would cement his legacy among the all-time greats. And doing it in Dallas? That would be the ultimate storybook ending. The kind of moment that NFL films would play on repeat for decades. But here's where things get interesting. Not everyone's convinced this move is guaranteed to succeed. Some analysts think the Cowboys should focus on youth and speed rather than adding another veteran. They argue that running backs are a dime a dozen and that Henry's best days are behind him. But let's be honest, that's what they said before he went on to lead the league in rushing, twice. Derrick Henry has made a career out of defying logic. And if there's one thing Cowboys fans know, it's that betting against a motivated superstar rarely ends well. This isn't just about adding talent. It's about adding presence. A player who can take over games, dictate tempo, and inspire everyone around him to play tougher, harder, and smarter. That's the kind of impact no stat sheet can measure. And maybe that's what this entire rumor boils down to: belief. Belief that the Cowboys can finally get over the hump. Belief that Jerry Jones still has one more masterstroke left in him. Belief that Derrick Henry, the man they call king, still has one more chapter to write. Whether this deal actually happens or not, it's already ignited something in the fan base: hope. And in a league where hope fuels everything, that's powerful. The idea of Henry thundering down the field in a Cowboys uniform isn't just exciting. It feels right. It feels inevitable. Because sometimes in football, legends don't fade quietly. They find the brightest stage and remind the world exactly who they are. And if this rumor becomes reality, the NFL better get ready, because the king might be coming to Dallas. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. There's another layer to this whole saga that people aren't talking about enough: the psychological impact. Imagine being a defensive player in the NFC East, already facing a brutal schedule, and now realizing you've got to deal with Derrick Henry twice a year. The Giants, the Eagles, the Commanders, all of them have built their defenses to stop speed and finesse, not a freight train running full speed downhill. You can't simulate Henry in practice. You can't prepare for that combination of size, strength, and balance. Once he gets to the second level, it's not about tackling anymore. It's about surviving. And for Dallas, that's the kind of intimidation they've been missing for years. This isn't just a physical shift, it's mental warfare. Teams start second-guessing their game plans before the ball is even snapped. And when that happens, you've already won half the battle before kickoff. At the same time, you can't ignore what this would mean for the Cowboys' locker room dynamic. Derrick Henry brings a rare kind of professionalism, a quiet intensity that commands respect without needing to shout. Younger players feed off that energy. Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb, Trayvon Diggs, all insanely talented, but still growing into leadership roles. Having a veteran like Henry in that room changes everything. He's the kind of guy who leads by example, shows up early, works like he's undrafted, and never complains. That's contagious. It sets a standard. It reminds everyone that star power means nothing without hard work behind it. In a franchise where the spotlight never dims, having a guy who stays grounded, focused, and humble could be exactly what the Cowboys need to keep their edge when the pressure peaks. And if this move actually goes through, the ripple effect would stretch far beyond Dallas. The NFC landscape would shift overnight. Teams like the 49ers, Lions, and Eagles, all contenders in their own right, would have to rethink their defensive priorities. The Cowboys, already a playoff-caliber squad, would suddenly become a legitimate Super Bowl favorite. And from a marketing perspective, forget it. This would be a dream come true for the league. Primetime games, massive ratings, jerseys flying off shelves. The hype machine would be unstoppable. Derrick Henry running behind, that star wouldn't just be a football story. It would be a cultural event. Because love them or hate them, when the Cowboys make a move like this, the entire world watches. And if King Henry does land in Dallas, every Sunday could start to feel like a movie, with the star, the king, and the crown all sharing the same field. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.